What is going on, viewers of YouTube? Sunspot here, and I am back. Give you guys my review of the Playmates Netflix series Voltron Legendary Defender Legendary Green Lion Combiner Collectible Figure. As per usual, I do want to highlight the packaging. Does say DreamWorks Voltron Legendary Defender. Nice artwork image of Voltron cover where you'd see the figure inside. And it does show off some of his accessories, which is unfortunate. Doesn't even come with some classic weapons, anybody? And here is a little, I guess an icon of where the Green Lion goes. Of course, this is the left arm. And yes, Voltron is 16 inches tall, so he is pretty big, which is good because you pay a lot for these figures. Artwork of the Green Lion, very show accurate, which is nice. And of course, this is a legendary Green Lion, and it is now streaming on Netflix. And Season 2 got added, so I recommend you go check it out. Sides the box are non-existent, as you can tell, but the bottom shows off all the other figures in the wave. I do recommend you check out Target and Walmart. Toys R Us, at least my Toys R Us doesn't have this, so just a heads up, I recommend you check out Target and Walmart. Back of the box shows off the figure, looking very pretty. Actually, the shade of green they use in this packaging for the Green Lion is way better than the figure, which is very unfortunate. Little picture of Pidge right there, and a colored icon of Voltron. And here's a biography of the character. If you'd like to read that, you can pause now. As for the figure himself, this is actually not my favorite lion. Unfortunately, I've always liked the Green Lion. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I like the color green more than the other colors of the lions. But I have to say that this is one of the weaker ones, and I'm really not sure why. I do prefer the legs, although this does have way more articulation because he's used as the elbow joint for Voltron. Give you guys a quick 360 here. You can tell he is definitely well sculpted. The shade of green seems, I guess it's pretty much TV show accurate. I would prefer if it was a bit darker, hence the packaging, which I noted earlier. That would have really made it just a bit better. But what you get is what you get, and I think it's okay for the $20 you usually pay for these figures. As for the head sculpt, it is definitely spot on to the TV show. Without a doubt. You can just tell, it just looks like the TV show, looks all 3D and whatnot. I think it's a really nice sculpt. Just give you guys a side view. It just looks really nice. I'm impressed. I do have some paint smudges here, mainly on the white. Seems the black leaks onto it more so than the green. Not a big deal. This might not be on your figure. Maybe it's just mine, and I'm not, too big of a fan of this little bolt right here, but, you need that for the mouth. I'll get into this later for the articulation, but I wish you can lock the mouths, and I don't think you can. If you can, please let me know, but I do like the paint they use here. Nice pitch sun yellow for the eyes there. Nice silver chrome on the top of the nose. I guess you can call that the snout. Snow white for the lips and the jaw here. Inside is actually painted as well. You could tell there's I guess there's a cannon inside. Yeah, there you go, with a ladder and stuff where, the pilots would man their lions here. So I wish put a little more, I don't really know how, I wish the paint was a bit more precise. I know it's a Playmates toy, but, I'm nitpicking here. I do like, I can't tell, there's a little bit of chrome on the inner ear while the back is just pitch green and more of that silver here. So the bottom is just a solid green. You could tell there's a spring underneath because of that. The mouth just shuts on you. Don't put your finger in there like me, because that was a shitty idea. And same goes for the rest of the figure. Well sculpted, and I do think the transformation does fit well with the articulation, which I'll get into later. To give you guys just a close-up on the paws here, they use, I think this is, yeah, it's more of a lime green on the paws that they use for paint rather than this dark forest green. It's not too dark, but maybe it's just appearing that way on camera because it's much lighter in person. But these are definitely more of a lime green. It doesn't bother me too much. It might look worse on camera, but it's not. Nice little rubber paws here, so good for movement, and the bottom are sculpted with that V right here, and Standard silver or gray plastic for the legs here. The screw does bother me. Part of me wishes they just painted that gray or did something more with it, but, you know, Playmates, I'm nitpicking. I should really stop because when I bought this, I knew what I was getting. But they put a lot of definition here. Do like these indentations right here. Very nice. And looking at the other leg, pretty much the same. Let me zoom out, show you the top. The hole where you would put the accessory. Silver chrome here. Well, it's not chrome, but, you know, glossy black of where the other cannon go. And, by the way, the shield goes there, not a gun. The gun goes right here on this black piece, but if you don't want to use the gun, this black hole bothers you, you could just put the shield on and it should cover that, but this will still be in your way. And just looking at it, it's pretty decent. I do like it. Gray plastic here for the joint, moves like that. I'll get into that later with the articulation. A lot of hollowness here, not a fan of that. Not a fan of this butthole either. Yeah, I know, I said it, but oh, come on. You know it looks weird. You know when you looked at it, you know what you saw. Okay, let's all be honest here. Playmates, you sick bastards, nah. But, yeah, a lot of hollowness. This is used for the transformation. So, yeah, just showing you. Yeah, it's for the transformation. I wish they would have done something more, but again, nitpicking. Nice yellow paint right here, and the tail is very, very pliable. I wish there was a wire in here so you can articulate it. That would have been cool, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. And here's the tail, some green and the ocean blue, which looks very nice, TV show accurate. A little indentation right here. And same at the bottom. Do have a paint smudge right there, which bothers me a bit. And the cool thing about these Voltron figures is, let me zoom out even more actually, is the pilot feature. So just unclip the bottom here. You really have to stick your fingernail in there, and it hurts like a bitch, trust me. And you could tell you have the pitch pilot in here, which I'll get into more with accessories, but showing you there, this is where the outline of the vehicle is, and all you do is just slip him in and close it shut, and he doesn't really knock around in there, which is pretty nice. So overall, I think the sculpt is decent for this. You could tell some more indentations on the neck there. I don't really have too many gripes except for the screws and a bit of hollowness, but again, I know what I paid for. Well, as for articulation, very, very limited, but actually has more than the legs, naturally, because of the elbow joint. The head can rotate fully. No neck joint, which is a little bit troublesome. The mouth is on a spring, so again, don't put your finger in there because that hurts like a bitch. I don't even know why I tried that. I guess I'm just bored a little too often. The legs here can go forward that much, back that much. Do have a, I guess you can call it an elbow joint. Which can go forward that much, back that much, and the feet go back that much or that much. A lot of this is for the transformation, of course, because the front legs fold into the cabin here. The legs here can go forward that much. Honestly, they can go forward all the way because of transformation. And the knee, let me just force it, go forward that much, and basically all the way into the leg. And the knee can go back that much, forward that much, and the leg or the foot can go forward and back pretty far. And the tail is pliable. But what makes these lions, or the arm lions, unique, which has always made them unique, is their abdomen. That sounds awkward, but it can move side to side, which is pretty great. I wish somehow they made the blue and the yellow do the same. That would have been pretty awesome. And yeah, this can rotate as well, by the way. So, pretty good for articulation. You can put him in some pretty epic poses because of that ab crunch, which is always nice. And I'm sucking at putting him in a pose right now because my bathroom smells like pee. And yes, I'm filming this in my bathroom, and my dog peed right next to the door. So, God, I want this review to end. As for size, the Green Lion is about 10 inches long. If you don't believe me, let's see here. He, from his head to his tail, is about 10 inches. So, Decent size for a $20 purchase. And here he is next to his Red Lion counterpart. They're pretty much the exact same size, as you can tell, because they're the same mold, except for a different head. And here he is next to the Blue Lion. He's a little bit smaller. I feel like either he should be a little bit smaller or he should be bigger. If you're talking proportion-wise with Voltron himself, I guess making him smaller would be a bit better because the arms have always been smaller and a little bit misproportioned because on the Voltron figure, when built from this wave, I think the arms are just way too big. Well, and here he is next to something you probably own, a standard Marvel Legends figure. As you can tell, they stand well with each other. The Blue Lion is just a bit bigger, so there you go for size. And here he is next to my alpaca. Well, as for accessories, this guy actually came with more than I thought, more so than the other lions, which is pretty cool. No classic weapon, which kind of sucks. Yes, he didn't really have it in the TV show, but hey, we're collectors, and I guess this is kind of aimed towards collectors, but starting off here, he comes with the first part of Voltron's sword. If you don't have the Red Lion, let me move him out of the way so you can focus on this better. If you don't have the Red Lion, there's no point in having this accessory at all. You could tell that there's some scrape marks there, bit of battle damage, which is pretty cool, and yeah, really nothing much you can do with this if you don't have the Red Lion, which comes with the other part of the sword. Does come with his signature shield, looking pretty epic. I do love the design on this. You got the V shape, nice gold paint, the black and a gray plastic, which is cool, and a peg, which is where you would plug into the lion. Then, if you so choose to, this is where you can plug in the shield, either on the back here. So just plug that in. Can look like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Or, if you want, you can plug it into this hole here. Like that. I honestly think this looks better. It doesn't matter. I honestly forget what is TV show accurate. Both look good. I'm pretty sure this is how it looks with him combined to Voltron, but no, actually, maybe. I think it's this one. I'm honestly forgetting. It's late and I am tired, but there you go for the shield. And last but not least, he comes with this cannon of some sorts, which is pretty lame. Not gonna lie. Green paint, the silver paint right here, and the peg of where you would put it on the Green Lion, the button where it would shoot out, and you could take this oddly sculpted missile. I guess it's an ice missile. Very swirly. Ooh, that's fancy. Okay, and you just put it in, and it shoots. And I hope this doesn't fall on the floor, because then I have to bend over and pick it up. Yay, it didn't. Then, of course, you can put this on. Make sure it just grooves in the correct way. Just stick it in there. Holds pretty well, and it can rotate, which is pretty convenient. It's whatever. Not a fan of this. Not going to keep it on at all. I think it actually looks pretty lame. But this is how it would look if he just shoots it. Thank God it didn't fall on the floor. And last but not least, we cannot forget Pidge himself in his drone mode, I guess is what you can call it. This is how they pilot their lions. I prefer it, you know, from the original, but they made Pidge all black. In fact, this entire seat portion is black, and then the lime green paint with the ocean blue. They put some pretty good detail in here, especially in Pidge himself. You can actually kind of tell it's him in there, just a little bit, but again, I wish they put some more paint, because obviously, you could tell, they put a lot of detail in there, so I really don't know why they had to make it black. I feel like that's just a waste. And now for transformation. Very, very, very simple. Let me move the camera up a bit and just show you. I recommend you remove the shield. Oh, he just fell over a bit. Fold in the legs, literally just accordion them in, as so. Alright, and then just make these parallel however you want. Doesn't really matter. I like to push them in for now. Then what you do is you lift this whole section up, straighten out the legs, move them up, and then squish them together, and then move the feet down. I recommend just moving this out of the way here. And you kind of just have to squish them in, honestly. There's really no real way of doing this. It's kind of a bitch, I'm not gonna lie. And just fold them in as best you can. And then move this out of the way here. I just twisted this around for whatever reason to make it easier for myself. And then what you do is you just close it up. And it closes pretty nicely, which is cool. Nothing sticks out and it doesn't lift up. It just clicks in pretty nicely. And just make sure everything is flush. And there you go. And then what you can do from now is just push in the tail, which is pretty easy. I'm like the stupid blue lion, god damn it. And then last step is this, the arm peg. And there you go. There is the green lion fully transformed, and you can actually move this out of the way if you want more arm articulation. Same with the other side. So there's just really nothing much to this. I don't think I should actually spend any time on this, so I'll just transform him back, push this in, extend the legs, as so, pretty easy. Move this up, and then just grab the legs out. You can do this pretty quick if you're swift. And don't be afraid to break this. I mean, you should be afraid to break this because it's a toy, it's made out of plastic. But with this part, just be cautious because, you know, you never know what can happen. And it's flimsy plastic. I'm not going to lie, it's very hollow plastic. So, there you go. He's done. Very quick transformation, but it's simple, it's okay, and although it's really nothing like the original of how the legs fold in, I do like what they did with it. So, overall, if you want to build Voltron, buy this. It's a necessity. All the limbs are a necessity if you want to build Voltron. And how often do we ever get retail combiner Voltron stuff in store? So that's really all I can say. Pick this up. It's a necessity. It's Voltron. Just get it. And with that said, people, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment, check out my site at SunSpotReviewz.com, and I will see you guys in my next video.